All right, everybody. Happy Sunday. So we've got the trick flow intake up at the machine shop getting milled down. It was sitting up a little too high as far for the port alignment because if you recall, we did have the heads milled 30 thousandths, so the intake is sitting a little higher. He should have that done next week, but I also had this this knockoff offshore Vic Jr. copy that I went ahead and ported and did a port match on there. I don't know if you can see that real good. So I don't know if you can see down there, but it's decent. You know, it's not perfect, but you know, these the Vic Jr. ports are pretty small when they stock, so it took a lot of grinding to get that squared away. Anyway, it's got a decent port alignment on it. I did have to wallow out the I did have to elongate all the intake bolts again because these heads were milled, so the intake bolts are a little closer. But anyway, so this is something we can try, and then of course I've painted it Ford gray to match, but this is something we can try on there as well. And there's our carburetor. And I had to order some different length push rods. The 7.3s that I had, 7.3 inch, the polylocks were hitting the back of the rocker arm, so I went ahead and ordered some 7.2s, and they had a nice pattern on them also. And then I've got these lashed 4,000s on the intake and 6,000s on the exhaust, so kind of a tight lash on there, and it should run good. I mean, obviously I'm no professional porter. I'm an amateur, so I just kind of didn't really try to reshape anything other than open up the exit to make the ports the same size as the head ports. So that's all I really tried to do. I didn't change anything on the, smoothed out a few things as much as I could reach in the castings. You can't really get all the way. It's still a tiny bit rough, like, you know, right in this area up here, as far as I could get. And then we did get our we got our McLeod twin disc installed. Did that yesterday. It's all lined up, so that's ready to go. Now then we can put on the bell housing and go from there. So that's kind of where we're at. I think everything's looking pretty good, and that's the update for today, guys. I'm gonna try to get this bell housing on today. I got to figure out the length on since this is an adjustable clutch fork. I got to check the depth on my original one, my aluminum bell housing, you know, measure from here up and see where it was. I'll just set it at that stock dimension. And I did get a new clutch fork. The throwout bearing is relatively new and it is still very smooth, so I'm not going to replace that. But anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. So appreciate it, guys. We'll keep trucking on this. Hopefully the trick flow R intake lines up good after it's milled, and we'll go from there. All right, guys. Thanks. Hope everybody has a great Sunday.